So in order to glow up, you've got to grow up. Some guys, they operate off of the same old patterns and behaviors and habits that they did when they were back in middle school, high school, college, whatever it is. The problem is they haven't evolved since that time. I know you know someone like that. It could be you as well after watching this video when you hear what I have to say. So stick around. I want you to imagine a computer. Let's say you have a Windows XP, for example. I believe Windows XP came out in the early 2000s. I think today we're on Windows 11. If you're still running a Windows XP computer or a laptop or whatever in 2025, imagine how laggy and slow it is and how useless it is in general compared to a laptop or a PC that's Windows 11. How much better it'd work, how much faster it would work because of the evolution that it's been throughout the years to get to the system that it's in today. It's the same thing with us guys too. We have to constantly evolve and shift our identity as time passes. You can't just stick to that one thing that you know and hold on to it. That's where a lot of guys struggle, because when you want to make a change or become better at something or become a more evolved guy, you cannot run off of those same old beliefs that you've been running off of since you were, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, or if you're in your late 20s. You can't be running off those same ideals and ideologies that you were running off of when in your early 20s. Things change. Your perception of the world should change. It shouldn't be stuck on one thing, of course. If you start doing that, that's when things get dangerous. That's when you get left behind and you can't progress enough in yourself to keep up. And I don't mean it to keep up with others. I mean to keep up with yourself, because at the end of the day, we're all born with potential. And it's almost like we're chasing that guy that we call our potential. It's almost like he's a shadow that's in front of us and we're in a sprint to catch him in a way. So the more you don't evolve, the further behind you're going to be in that race. Does that make sense? You want to be able to constantly evolve and move and do what you need to do. You know, I'm going to get rid of this knife now. Kind of wild. There we go. Slap that over here. Damn. Okay, so how can we change our identity? How can we change our ideologies and thoughts? Well, the easiest way to do it is usually through these things right here, through books. Through books, reading books, exposing yourself to new ideas and stuff. For example, I grew up in a Christian home, and my dad is actually a pastor. He's a pastor, but throughout the years, my mom too, very heavy into Christianity. But through the years, it's not something I really identify myself with anymore, because of just me exposing myself to other things and learning about them, having respect for them. I have the utmost respect for Christianity, of course, because at the end of the day, for me, all these religions and stuff, they all tie in together, and I look at them as guides to life instead of something where you're supposed to like really, I don't know, like lock in a way. But in my opinion, these things right here, books, they really open up your mind a lot and expose you to different things and cause you to think for yourself instead of just taking on whatever's been handed down to you. Not saying that whatever's been handed down to you is bad, but it can hinder you from progressing and making that next move, because what you end up doing is that you end up putting yourself in a cycle, so to speak. It's like I love this thing my dad used to say when he used to give sermons as well, as like he'd say, if you're born in a garage, does that make you a car? If you're born in a bakery, does that make you bread? Just because your parents give you something and hand it down to you doesn't necessarily mean you are that. I myself, just because I'm a pastor's son, does not make me a pastor at all. Far from it. Like, no disrespect to him, it's not something I want to do at all. That's me at age 27 saying that though. Never know what could happen in the next 10 years, right? That's the thing, you have to keep evolving. So whatever you believe, like really take the time to step back and, you know, dissect it and really think like, is this something that I believe in, or is it something that my parents or society has given to me to believe in, you know? Because you're going to end up seeing that a lot of your thoughts and habits, they come from others. They're not from you. They're not things that you wish upon yourself. And then when you realize that, you're going to realize that you're actually living in a lot of fear. You're living in a lot of fear because of the fact that you don't want to disappoint those other people that have put these beliefs and thoughts and ideals on you. And it's okay. It's not something that's bad. That's just human nature. When you have certain thoughts and ideals and you stuck to them from day one, it's kind of hard to get out of that and start something new because of everyone else around you. Like, my favorite book is actually in this stack right here, Outwitting the Devil. It's one of those things that it's one of those books that changed the game for me, definitely. Great book, and I really recommend y'all read it because it put a lot of things that I had in my mind already into a lot better words and into great perspective for me. And it really just opened my eyes to everything. And not even my eyes, my mind, man. Opened my mind to everything, which then changed my perception of the world completely. I definitely recommend you read it if you're a person that wants to change and just shift your identity, because it opens you up to a lot of what's going on in the world. And this is a book that's actually, it was written about, I believe it was written a century ago, but it wasn't released to the public until I think 2011 because of the fact that bro would have been ostracized and, cut off from society. So they released it when he died. But anyway, besides books, I really encourage you to open up yourself to other people that have different ideas and thoughts and philosophies about life or whatever else it is, because you don't have to necessarily agree with it, but the fact that you're open-minded enough to hear what that person has to say is going to do a lot for you. Like, the fact that you have enough respect to listen to a person with different ideas already shows how far you've come, because a lot of people don't know how to do that. They usually have one idea and they stick to it. And if you try to attack or, go against their ideas, let me say that. If you go against their ideas, they're going to feel attacked because it's not their way of life. And I low-key respect those guys that live like that because they stand on their shit. But at the same time, it can be very dangerous because you're not evolving. You're just stuck in one place. You become stagnant and your reality and your world just stays in that one place. Identity shifting is something that's really important for me, huge for me. And it's something that I've done constantly over and over and over again. The one thing that you can do for yourself, though, to grow up and glow up is to take account of yourself and ask yourself, who is it that you want to be? Literally write down the characteristics of who you want to be. A lot of people don't realize that we're all a bunch of main characters walking on this planet, and your perspective and what you see of things on this planet is just projecting what's in your mind. So if you think of yourself as a piece of trash, you will move and be in this world like a piece of trash. It's that simple. If you think highly of yourself, you'll move around confident like a king. That's how I speak to myself each and every single day, bro. There's no other way. There's no other truth, because that's what it is. So sit down, write some characteristics down. It can be anything. Because if you can imagine it, then you can be it in a way. I remember when I got out of a relationship here about 3-4 years ago now, and I started to shift my identity as well. I had a lot of fun doing it because I literally went to the polar opposite of who I was already. I was a nice guy, to put it that way. I was a nice guy, and I went to the opposite end of the spectrum. Might have overdid it, I don't care, but I'd rather be wrong than to sit and be afraid to take that step. If I'm wrong, then I know I can fix it. And that's a whole lot better than just sitting around in that one spot that you are or were already and not making any moves. Why would you do that to yourself? That's just harming yourself at the end of the day. Being on that polar opposite side of the spectrum showed me how easy it is to shift identities all the time. It's just something that you have to believe in yourself. You can't give a fuck about what everyone else thinks of you and what they're doing. You have one life to live, man. Literally one life. Are we gonna sit and waste our lives listening to other people's opinions and what they think of us? Does that make any sense? How is that gonna help you progress forward when you're again living in fear of others and what they think of you. Today I sit here as a content creator. I create a lot of films and shorts and videos, and literally just last year I finished up flight school and became a commercial pilot. Last year I was moving around like a pilot and strictly as a pilot, but that's a part of my identity that I had to drop just for a moment, for a brief moment, so I could focus a bit on the content creation. The piloting is going to come back, and then when it comes back, I can merge the two, the content creation and the piloting. So I've been able to take different parts of my identity and shift it around and move in that manner and keep evolving. Now, when I was in flight school, I was making a bit of content, but I didn't have as much time and focus to do it as I do now. And I'm super grateful for it because it's allowed me to expand and evolve even more. And again, it's just going to benefit me. So again, man, in order to glow up, you've got to grow up. You've got to let the past be the past. Stop moving in the past. Let it sit there. Don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with you going forward. Stop looking back behind you. There's nothing there. It's already been done. Leave it alone. Your past wins, of course, keep them in mind sometimes, but don't live off of them. Create new ones. If you've done it once before, you can do it again multiple times, right? Hey, that's it for me. For one-on-one consultations, check the link in my bio. If you want to read the first chapter of The Jacked Reality, my ebook, for free, the link is also in the description. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.